Hello my dear friends, I wish you wisdom. Welcome back to my channel for another video. I got an interesting question on my last video from David Amaro. He asked the following: does it matter which set of tarot cards to use? Do they all have the same effect? Alright, so before I dive deep in answering this question, allow me to first state a disclaimer. What I present in these videos on my channel are things which work out for me. They are things which I use for myself, and they may or may not work for you. So just take from them what resonates with you. In regards to anything that I do, even if it's related to books that I read, even if it's related to tarot decks, I am very, very picky with the things that I choose to use or to study. If there is no inner guidance or synchronistic event or some hunches that guide me towards that tool or that particular book, I just don't bother to waste my time with it. So that's how I roll. Now, going back to your question, David, which may be a question that floats in other people's minds. Does it matter which set of tarot cards you use? For me, personally, it does. It really matters what I use. And this is just my humble opinion. For tarot readings or oracle readings for yourself or for other people, I think it doesn't matter what deck of cards you use. You can use any tarot or oracle deck you like. For example, I bought a few oracle decks recently, which I use for daily readings. And there is one in particular which I like the most, which is called the Sacred Traveler. And I really enjoy it, and it was made by a woman who walked the path of shamanism, which is called Denise Lin. And this is an oracle deck that really spoke to me from the moment that I saw it. However, when it comes to tarot occult studies, I will always use either the Builders of Aditum cards or the Rider-Waite tarot cards, the classical one, or is one now called, if I remember correctly, is called the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot Deck. I'm not sure if that is the title, but those are the decks which I prefer to use. Even the Thought deck, created by Aleister Crowley, which I will come back to in a second, is really good if you feel is the one that is calling you. And let me explain why I will not use any other deck for tarot occult studies. Let's take as an example the Moon card, okay? The Moon card from the Major Arcana, at his very own core, it's all about rearranging or organizing the whole structure of the human body. So this pictorial form speaks to your subconscious mind in its language, and then you will see that messages will be dropped in your conscious awareness, or to put it in other words, you will start to get those downloads with information if you just meditate on these cards. Now, let's take as an example the Doreen Virtue tarot deck. Okay, the same card, the Moon. Although it's pretty and it's suggestive for a daily reading with Leslie on the side, the dog, well, it has nothing to do with the organization of the body. Do you get my point here? So, also pay attention to the author who is creating the deck that you are using. You will observe that the vast majority of people who create new decks of cards, they have in mind the idea of divination. and the idea that the deck must look pretty. And in most cases, probably they don't even have a clue that you can use the tarot cards to build up an entire ritual. That's why it's kind of important to also look into who is creating that specific tarot deck. And like I've said, my opinion is that the Rider-Waite deck is fantastic. And also the one created by Paul Foster Case, which is brilliant. Now, let's have a look at the B.O.T.A tarot deck created by Aleister Crowley. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but bear with me. Although I don't own this deck because I get some mixed feelings from it, I cannot deny the fact that this man knew what he was doing. And this is shown in the tarot deck he created. He knew all about tarot magic. For example, let's look at the Fool card, which is the point of the triangle in tarot ritual magic. Okay, so if you look at this card, you see that spiral which comes from the heart. Well, in the same manner, you actually project your will into the triangle. You create this vortex of energy that moves faster and faster around you in your casted circle which you cast using some cards from the major arcana, which are universal forces. Then you cast your intention or your will into that triangle formed of the cards the Fool, the Hanged Man, and Judgment. So Aleister knew how to do things. No wonder is represented in his cards. Also, again, look at the Emperor card. His fantastic symbolism. The Hebrew letter is there, the Aries sign is there. This is a card which, in a circle, you will place in the east. Okay, so when you look at this deck of cards, to me it feels that this man created this deck just to cast immediately a ritual with this. So it does matter what deck you use. It really does. But it all depends on what you intend to use the cards for. If you want to use them for divination, use the deck that you like. If you want to use tarot for more in-depth studies, use the ones created by people who really knew the depths of occult knowledge, and the cards will become a bridge between you and those more advanced magicians. So that's all for today. I hope this answers your question, and I wish you a fantastic day, and thank you for watching.